In this video, we will be discussing the banker's algorithm that is usually used in operating systems to avoid deadlocks. Consider the following snapshot of the system. So we have about 5 processes. The allocation matrix is given here. The max matrix is given here. The available vector is right here. What is the meaning of an allocation matrix? So let's look at the first row over here. We have 0, 0, 1, 2. That means that process P0 at this point of time has no instances of A and B, one instance of C and two instances of D. A, B, C, D, by the way, are 4 different kinds of resource types. What is the max matrix? So let's take an example. So for the row of P1, we have 1750 over here. That means that at any one point of time, the maximum allocation of resource type A for P1 can be just one instance. For B, it can be 7 instances, 5 instances for C, and nothing from D. This can be the maximum allocation for process P1. So if it is 2, 3, 5, 6 for P2, that means this can be the maximum allocation of resources for process P2. Let's look at the available vector over here. What does that mean? At this point of time, we have only one instance of A free, 5 instances of B available, 2 instances of C available, and nothing from D available in the system at this point of time. So the first question is to find out the need matrix. What is the need matrix? The need matrix is at any given point of time, what is going to be the maximum request that a process can make. So at this point of time, so for example, process P0 has 0012. The allocation is 0012. And its maximum allocation can be 0012. So can it ask for any more? No. That is why we have 0000 over here. So what did we do? We subtracted the allocation vector from the maximum allocation vector for process P0 and we got all 4 zeros over here. Let's take another example. For process P1, the current allocation is 1000, and please ignore everything in red and blue. Please concentrate on the ones written in black. So the current allocation for P1 is 1000, but its maximum allocation can be 1750. At this point of time, what is the maximum request it can make? So we will take this and subtract it from this. So since it already has the one instance of A, it can maximum ask for. So we will have 0 over here. It can maximum ask for 7, but it does not have anything from B. So it can ask for 7 more. Similarly, for C and D. So you take the max vector and you take the allocation vector and you subtract the allocation vector from the max vector and you will get the need vector. You do this for all the processes, you get the entire need matrix. The second question is to figure out if the system is safe or not. So to do that, let's initialize the work variable to the available vector. And assume that none of these tick marks in red are marked. That is, the finish variable for each of these processes is set to false. So we start with 1520, which is the current availability. And let's look at a process whose need can be satisfied with whatever we have in the work pool. So the simplest one would be, and the easiest one would be P0, because its need is currently 0. Let's assume that this process has finished executing. So we will take its allocation and we will add it back to the work pool. So we take 0012 and we add it to 1520. So we get 1532. Now let's go to process P3. What is its need? It is 0020. And can this be satisfied with the current work we have? Yes, it can be satisfied. So we will assume that P3 has finished execution. We will put a red tick over here. And for P0 also, you'd have to do the same thing. You have to put a red tick to mark that this process has finished execution. So for P3 also, we'll put a red tick mark and say, okay, this has finished execution. We will take its allocation and we will add it to the current work variable that we have. So the value of the current work pool is 1532 and P3's allocation is 0632. So we take this and we add it to this and we have 11164 over here, which we mark for P3 over here. Then we go to P2. P2's need is 1002 and that can be satisfied with the work pool at this point of time. So we will assume that P2 has finished execution. We will put a red tick mark. We will take its allocation and we will add it to this allocation over here, the work pool over here. So we take 1354 and we add it to 11164 and we get this. Then we go to P1. P1's need is 0750 in red over here. Please ignore the one in blue. That is for a later question. And that can be satisfied by whatever the work variable that we have over here. So we take P1's allocation and we add it back to the work pool over here and we get this work pool over here. And the last process is P4. Its need is 0642 and that can be satisfied by the work pool that we have here, 314.11.8. So we also mark P4 as done. We take its allocation and add it back to the work pool and we get this. In the end, we see that all the processes were able to finish execution and we conclude that this is a safe state. Let's move on to the next question. Now P1 requests this amount of resources, right? So it needs 0 more instances of A, which is nothing, 4 more instances of B, 2 more instances of C, and no instances of D. If we allocate this request to P1, is the system still going to remain safe? Let's figure that. So let's assume that we have given P1 whatever it has requested. So what is going to happen? Its need is going to go down because it needed something. Now it has been given that. So its current need, which is 0752, it will go down because now it will need less. And so what we will do? We will take this and we will subtract this from the current need and we get 0330. Now since something has been given to P1, our current availability will go down. So we will take this and we will subtract it from the current availability and we get 1100. And since we have allocated some resources to P1, its allocation will increase. So we take this and we add it to 1000 for P1 and we get 1420 over here. Let's again try to evaluate the safety of this situation, of this state. So we take the work variable to the current availability, which is 1100, which is written over here. And then again we go to P0 because its need is still 0000. We assume that it has finished execution. We put a blue tick mark to mark that it has finished execution. We take its allocation and we add it to work and we get 1112. We go to P2 and we do the same thing. For P1, you have to be a little careful to use the new allocation. Don't use the old allocation, use the one in blue. And yeah, we take 1420 and we add it to the previous work variable 2466 and we get this. Then we go to P3 and then we go to P4. In the end, you will see that all the processes were able to complete execution. We have marked that with all the blue tick marks over here. And this system, the state of this system is safe. This system is safe and it is okay to grant this request to P1. It will not make the system unsafe. The system was already safe. By granting this request, it is still going to be safe and deadlocks will not happen. Thank you.